This is Crash TV.
It's Friday the 18th of July, 2008, and this is Crash TV, news from inside Criterion Games, the makers of Burnout Paradise.
Today on Crash TV.
This week on Crash TV, if you're new to Burnout, we've got a spotlight feature that'll introduce you to everything in the game. We'll tell you how we got on with our recent free software update, codenamed Cagney. We've got the latest news from the game calendar. We announced the results of our Crash and Mugshot competitions, and of course, the latest from the mailbag. All right, and it's Crash TV 6. In fact, this is our first ever video-only podcast. So for the first time, we'll be putting this out on video only. So no chance to pick it up as it was the Crash FM podcast. I'm Jez. I'm here with Symes. We are the web team from Criterion Games. We're going to bring you the latest news. So what's happening this week, Symes?
Well, big thing. We're not in LA. I mean, it's big E3 week over.
Is that good news? I'm not sure that is good
well,
news.
It is. It's really
Normally
cool.
it's the sunshine. I've got sunglasses on, looking at brilliant video games, and we're there ruling it with some cool new stuff. So how come we're not there?
Well, we don't have to, because we've been bringing the news out about what we're doing over the past six months. Ever since the release of Paradise, we've been rolling it out. So we've not been holding on to anything for 18 months like a lot of other people do, and then sort of breaking it out in E3 and everything. We're just trying to get the stuff out as we do. So
that's exactly right. So I think this is quite a big step for us. Not to go to E3 is a huge step, because Criterion Games, we love to be there and we love to have good stuff. But this year we're trying something different. We want to invite people to come into the studio and see what's happening as we build it. We've got no secrets anymore. There's nothing that we've bottled up in order to unveil to the public at E3. We've opened the doors 6 months ago and said, come on in, take a look at what we're building. And we've been pretty much showing all of our content as we build it. And as we all know, this is the year of Paradise. This is the year where we take the game we released in January, Burnout Paradise, and we transform it through downloadable content. We're tired of hearing DLC used as kind of a dirty word and hear people really kind of disappointed by what they get in that. We're trying to do something really revolutionary with downloadable content. Now, that's a really big step for us. But we do miss being at the show, and it is a nice show, and it's always good to go there and see the other cool games. So what have you seen, Simon, that you thought was cool this week?
Big things for me. I was very impressed with the Ratchet and Clank game. That's
fantastic.
DLC being taken seriously again. So,
yeah, always have
guys.
loved Insomniac stuff. Brilliant studio, and we love Resistance. Played all the way through that. Thought it was a great game. Resistance 2, it was great to see that stuff. And like you said, Ratchet and Clank. I think it's just exciting to see a new Ratchet game arriving straight to the box. So new DLC from those guys. Always pushing the boundaries. It's awesome.
And online stuff like MAG, which has just been shown, 256 players all online at the same time. Looks really exciting.
Fantastic. And for anyone who played Black, our first-person shooter, they'll know that there's a little bit of everyone at this studio who loves to shoot, smash things up, cause enormous explosions, and it was cool to see that game too. I think there's a little bit of Black in there. So what's been going on this week, Symes?
Well, it's been absolutely crazy. Codename Cagney launched last week on PlayStation 3, and just
fantastic.
Numbers. Yeah,
Codename Cagney. So if you're new to the show, and a lot of people are, because we're now front page on iTunes, if you're new to Crash TV, Codename Cagney is part of our Year of Paradise. This is the big update that we brought last week to PlayStation 3 owners, and pretty soon to Xbox 360 owners. And this is the update that brought the live front page, so news from the blog on the front page of the game, a calendar, 3 new online game modes, 70 new challenges, and some cars, and a mountain of kind of little fixes and iterations to the game. So a big update for us, and so the reaction to that we're expecting to be pretty strong.
Well, in
but
fact,
what you're saying, Simon, is it was through the roof.
It's been crazy. The telemetry, I mean, the number of players we've got online is as big as it ever was at launch. It's just gone straight up there. Number of website hits have been crazy.
I think our biggest week ever on the website.
Yeah, it has. It really spiked, and that's a lot of people coming back to the game, or new players coming to the game, coming to our website to find out more. So one of the things that we're doing really quickly at the moment is reshaping the whole front of our site to cope with that, because we recognise there are a lot of people that are coming back to the game or are new to the game, want to find out what's going on. So
yeah, I think we've spent 6 months having a great time, kind of hanging with the community, our hardcore fans. fans and just having a cool time playing the game and really being into it. We play it every day, but incredible times as it seems, there are people out there that don't play it every single day and don't actually kind of live, breathe and kind of sleep Burnout Paradise.
You sleep?
I just play.
Oh.
And I think what we wanted to do was try and shape the site so that it's a bit more welcoming. I think we were just dropping newcomers to the site and newcomers to Burnout straight in at the deep end. You know, they would get the latest news from the forums or the latest news from, you know, yesterday's gameplay. And I think what we wanted to change was exactly that, was just kind of make it feel much more kind of easy to understand, simple to get along with, and just a little bit more kind of inclusive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so one of the big things is we're hopefully pushing over the next 24 hours the front page of the site, plus getting an FAQ and welcome to Burnout, all of those things on the front page, so it's just so much more friendly for anybody coming new to the page. Other thing as well, mails to the mailbag, absolutely through the roof, up to my neck in it, beyond and above.
Excellent. So if you want to make more work for Symes, we're at mailbag@criteriongames.com and we'll give him a load more work to do.
Crash TV Spotlight. Game calendar.
Last week we talked in detail about the game calendar and the new live page, and brought some of the events to light that were going to be taking place for the first week of Cagney. And for those of you that have been playing the game during this period, you'll notice that we made some changes. So I'm joined by Matt Follett, who's our current king of calendar events, to just talk us through some of those changes and why they took place. So first of all, Matt, I guess the question is, what did we actually run last week? What did we achieve?
Yeah, so when Cagney came out, the first thing we did, we tried limiting the cars that were available to you. This is part of the broadcast gameplay that we're able to do through the calendar events.
Yeah.
So when we went into a race, we limited your cars, just 4 cars, and just to see what would happen, we wanted to focus the cars away from the higher end and get you to play some of the other cars that you might not have been driving.
Brilliant. And how did that go then?
Well, we had a lot of races, and I think each of the cars was each as popular with the different people. So I think a lot of people were slightly confused by the fact that they went online into a race, they didn't understand what was happening, and I think that's probably something that we did slightly wrong. We didn't communicate to the people exactly what kind of event was active and what effect it would have.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much bang on. So the test that we wanted to run with launching broadcast gameplay through the calendar went really well. And the test of kind of communicating what we were doing so that everybody would understand and everybody would kind of get excited about those events and kind of and look forward to them didn't. I think a lot of people were confused by what they arrived at. And I think this time around we want to kind of simplify things and we'll make a few changes based on that. So what are we going to see next? What will the changes be?
Yeah, so we're going to make it very simple, and we want to get the cars that were promised to you in Cagney out to you as soon as possible in a staggered way, and make sure that everyone will be able to get them. They don't have to worry about missing an event and not being able to get them again. So we've changed how we're going to deliver the cars. Already we've given away the Ride-In, that was yesterday. So
fantastic.
Fantastic.
Everybody racing the Ride-In.
The car that's on the title screen. If you now go online, it'll be in your garage, you can go and use it throughout all the online game modes. And
so just to recap, if you want that car, you can go online anytime from now. You just need to go into any online game mode, go back to a junkyard and select your vehicle, and you'll find the Ride-In at the far right of the vehicle select screen.
Yeah, far right because it's very fast. But
there we go. What about the Hunter Olympus?
The Hunter Olympus, so yes. Previously we've mentioned that you'd have to compete in an online road rage event in the Olympus and win to get hold of the Olympus. Just like the Ride-In though, we've decided we want everyone to be able to get it, and we don't have to worry about turning up on a date, missing a day, when is it going to be active. On the 26th of July, that's a Saturday, if you go online from that point onwards, you'll have access to the Olympus. It'll always be there for you.
Fantastic. I look forward to that one because that's a big bruiser of a car.
It is. It's the other car without boost, but it's a big car. It can traffic check quite easily.
Fantastic. Traffic, no problem in the Olympus.
Unless perhaps it's another Olympus.
Oh well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there in the new online game modes. And then finally, we'd shown 2 brand new paint jobs: the Tempesta Dream and the Tiger GT.
A couple of great looking liveries. For
amazing.
Yeah.
You know, Yuta and his team, fantastic job on those cars. When can people look forward to getting hold of those?
Well, we're going to be staggering the release of those, just like the Olympus. So probably maybe a week or 2 after the Olympus released, on a Saturday again, we're going to make those available to you in a staggered way. So first, I think we'll probably give away the GT Tiger. You can expect to see that available. and that'll be online and offline, I believe.
And offline,
because
yeah.
it's an offline car. So if you've unlocked the car offline, you'll have access to that vehicle and its new livery. And then after that, the Tempesta Dream, if you have the Tempesta Dream, you'll have access to the beautiful Tempesta Dream livery.
Awesome. All right, brilliant. So, we'll bring you news as it comes on the live page in the calendar. It's very experimental for us, this feature. We're having a lot of fun with it. We've run some tests. We're pretty happy with where we can take it. And we'll be looking forward to bringing you the news on that as it comes. We'll have Mikkel with us next week, and we'll do a big feature on Mikkel's new calendar feature. Look forward to seeing you then. All right, so that's the news from the calendar. Mm-hmm. And where are we with 360? I know a lot of 360 players out there, saw the countdown to the release last week of Cagney. We're really kind of itching to get hold of it, to the point we've even seen the numbers increase playing online. Have we got any news for those guys, Simons, on when they can actually get hold of the new stuff?
As of yet, still trying to get confirmation on date. A lot of people at Microsoft, a lot of people out there in the studio working incredibly hard to get the last irritating bugs out of the way, and so then it's absolutely clear for launch.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I mean, every time we release a new update, it's like completing a game. We have to do all of the testing as if it was a finished game, and that's a mountain of work. So what happened with 360 was we just found a couple of extra problems with the software, which we're now working flat out to fix. And as soon as we've got news on that, we'll post on the site, or we'll bring it through to Crash TV and tell you what's going on. So news coming up. Mm-hmm. I think what we wanted to do this week was a feature for people who didn't know what we were talking about when we said easy drive or takedown or any of the game modes. We just always talk as if everybody plays the game like we do. Oh, Markman this and Showtime that. And I think if you've never experienced Burnout Paradise before, then we recommend you check it out. And what we wanted to do this week was a spotlight on what you'll actually find when you get to the game. So here's for anyone new to Burnout. Here's the quick summary of what to expect.
Crash TV Spotlight. Burnout Paradise.
Burnout started as an arcade driving game. Back then it was a breath of fresh air in a world of simulation. We focused on creating a fun, accessible racing game inspired by our favourite movie car chases and Japanese arcade games. We followed it up with a much improved sequel and introduced Crash Mode. With Burnout 3 we brought in the concept of takedown, that's slamming and shunting rival drivers to earn boost, and Road Rage, a new game mode to make use of your new aggressive driving skills. Burnout Revenge was our final Burnout game for the PlayStation 2 before we started work on Burnout Paradise. It featured live revenge, tracking your rival scores against your own, and save and share. You can save your best crashes and share them with your online friends. Which brings us to the mighty Burnout Paradise, our biggest and most ambitious game to date. This is our first game for the PS3 and a complete reinvention of Burnout. This time we wanted to make amazing use of the PlayStation 3. We knew we needed to deliver something special that brought something new to online, made great use of the camera, and completely reinvented Burnout for a new generation of players. We started with a massive open world environment called Paradise City and split it into 5 neighbourhoods. We've got White Mountain, Silver Lake, Harbour Town, Palm Bay Heights and Downtown Paradise. Each neighbourhood has distinct play areas like the airfield, beach or quarry. These are like concentrated gameplay, which is why we talk about them so regularly on Crash TV. Exploring and finding everything in the game helps you get to know the city, which makes the rest of the game easier. So we filled the city with billboards, smash barriers and massive ramps called super jumps to reward exploration. We wanted to remove all the constraints of previous games and let players experience Paradise City at their own pace. You can just drive around the city, we call that free burning, and trigger races, road rage, etc. as and when you like. Just pull up at any junction and hit the triggers on your controller to start the event for that junction. As well as the usual suite of racing features, we brought Road Rage and introduced 3 new game modes: Stunt Run, Marked Man and Showtime. In Stunt Run you earn points for pulling cool stunts, driving backwards, using boost, smashing through objects. If you're good, you can chain combinations of stunts to earn multipliers. Marked Man challenges you to drive across the city under attack, reach your destination before the car's destroyed by marauding rival drivers in black saloons. You can trigger Showtime whenever you like by hitting both triggers at once. This crashes your car and allows you to bounce the wreck around, earning dollar damage scores for hitting traffic. And despite all this cool stuff, it's not till you go online that Paradise really comes to life. Freeburn Online is your chance to meet up with 7 other players and just hang out in the city. We created over 400 simple multiplayer challenges to keep you occupied. We call these Freeburn Challenges. This is everybody's favourite part of the game. Almost 70% of all the time spent in Paradise City Online is in Freeburn. We wanted an online game that had nothing to do with ultra-competitive play, getting schooled by experts and being embarrassed to be new to the game. Freeburn Online is fun and collaborative. You work as a group, so the fun is in helping new players complete the challenge or showing off to your regular friends. You can access everything online through the Easy Drive menu. This simple system lets you select games, host and join sessions and find your friends using the D-pad without ever interrupting gameplay. And to help you get to know each other a little better, we came up with the idea of mugshots. Go online and take someone down and you'll see a snapshot of them as they crash. It's absolutely hilarious and a great reason to get yourself a camera. And this is just the start. We believe that video games changed forever with the launch of PS3 and 360. We're used to spending years making our games, releasing them and then moving on to the next. Millions of people have enjoyed Burnout, but we never knew who you were or how you played the game. Today that just feels old-fashioned and out of touch. So this year, we're changing everything about the way we work. We've started a year of full-scale support for Burnout Paradise, so if you've got the game already, you're in for a treat. Our goal is to transform Burnout through 12 months of downloadable content, that's DLC. The most radical innovations in the Burnout franchise will arrive direct to your console as downloadable software updates. That means everything from motorcycles to planes, different locations to all new game modes. We want everything we build to change the way you play. We're bringing you game-changing content, that's GCC. We're gathering game telemetry, incredibly detailed data triggered by everything that happens in Paradise City. We're watching how you play and constantly improving Burnout based on what we see. And we're listening to what you have to say on the forums, through the mailbag, that's mailbag@criteriongames.com, and of course in Paradise City itself, you'll regularly find us playing the game. We gave our updates names because the usual 1.3, 1.4, etc. didn't really seem to do it justice. The first major update was codenamed Cagnian, released on PS3 in July 2008. This free update introduced the live game calendar and front page. For the first time, we can talk to you through the game and give you the latest news and special events. We've got big plans for this feature. We also delivered 70 new multi-part Freeburn challenges and a leaderboard for each, as well as 3 new game modes, Markman Online, Road Rage Online and Stunt Run Online, plus a mountain of small fixes and changes requested by our fans. Our next update will be codenamed Davis. In this one we're introducing motorcycles for the first time and gameplay based on day and night. We'll bring you more on this and all our future updates on our website www.criteriongames.com and of course on upcoming episodes of Crash TV. Great, so that's Burnout sorted. Everybody now knows what we're talking about when we reel off all of those phrases, and hopefully that'll be something that we can kind of refer back to. We'll probably put that that feature on the front of the site so people can catch up anytime on what they don't know. So what are we actually working on right now in the studio, Simon?
Okay, so we said last week that the Codename Davis update was feature complete, and say the thing with that is it's going through massive testing and tuning. So one of the things that we had on the team this week was got everybody, and I mean everybody,
that was funny to see. That was funny to see.
Play the bikes, and there's Alex and Craig sitting there with a stopwatch hanging over us, getting us to drive around the city and seeing how long we could keep on going before we actually piled it. And so there's lots of refinement being done to the bike handling and everything to make it really friendly. So as new players come to the game, they can pick up the bikes and they can really enjoy it and get really into the game as fast as possible.
Yeah, we see this commonly, I think, in all of game development, that handling of a car, handling of a bike, difficulty curve through games is always set by people that actually make that stuff, and they tend to make it really hard. And I think one of the challenges
it's natural. You live with the game for 12 months, 18 months, and you see that control system through every single iteration. There's that word again. All the way through a year and a half, and you get to know all its nuances, all the little glitches and weirdnesses as well. You actually unconsciously start compensating for them. So by the time it comes out, it's absolutely insanely hard.
And we found this with the bikes, and so the purpose of the exercise this week was to get anybody and everybody in the studio to play the bikes, time them, see how well they got on, see how many times they crashed on a given route, and really sort of massage the handling and the control to be as user-friendly as possible.
Absolutely.
And what else then? So what else from Davis?
Well, it's all about next week, really. Big update on Davis next week.
That's right. So we'll be joined next week by Pete Lake, who's producing the Davis update, and we'll be bringing you all of the GCC news. And here's another acronym that we'll throw out there. GCC for us is game-changing content. We were tired of downloadable content as a sort of an acronym for bringing new content to a game after release, and we figured that too much of that stuff didn't change the game. So Davis and everything else that we're doing this year will be part of our game-changing content upgrades. And so with bikes, it's not going to be, oh great, I just get to race around Paradise City. There's going to be a load of new stuff to do, a load of different challenges and things created specifically for bikes. So Pete will join us next week and bring us all of that, which brings us on to the community.
And now here's the latest from the very, very large mailbag.
Mailbag at CriterionGames.com.
What's in the mailbag, Symes?
Well, lots. Okay, so regular feature. We said you send us a postcard, we'll send you one back. So if you send a postcard to Criterion Games at Onslow House, Onslow Street, Guildford, Surrey, GU1 40N. You have to get better at that one, Jez.
Still reading it.
Indeed.
Straight off the board.
What we'll do is we'll send you a postcard back. So we've got some to the mailbag this week, and this first one is from Matthew Chant in Kent, who actually sent us this one from Route 66 in the USA. It says that the car looks a little bit like a Manhattan.
Fantastic. I've got this one from Darren Hughes, the goal machine, who's from sunny Swindon, sent us a picture of just an absolutely crazy looking junction in Swindon, which I think is quite famous.
Yeah, you won't get one of those in Paradise City.
You will not.
Yeah, okay, we've got two cards here from Plymouth, Massachusetts, looking very, very beautiful. Here from Garrett Goodrick, I believe. Anyway, there we go. So Plymouth, Massachusetts, one of those. And one of those. He's been writing very, very small on the back, but we'll sort of decipher his address and send that out.
Fantastic. Another postcard from Murph Eggs and Murph's Girl 81. It's of the Liberty Bell, which looks like a very old bell. And then finally, a great postcard, Symes, from the Archipelago della Maddalena in Italy, from me on my holiday a couple of weeks ago. So this is a postcard that I saw, which was just of the place that I was at. But I had to send this because in Italy, we do need a different version of Burnout. Burnout's a crazy, crashing, smashing, fun driving game. The Italians drive like that. They just drive crazy. And so I thought for an Italian version, more crashing and dangerous driving required.
Fabulous. Okay, so we'll be sending you guys all postcards in the mail from there, and say if you send us a postcard to CriterionGames.com, Onslow House, Onslow Street, Guildford, Surrey, GU1 40N.
Look at that, I can't even keep up now. I can't even read it fast enough. Let's go.
Okay, so there we go. So yes, send us a postcard, we'll send you one back. Okay, next thing, mugshot competition. Last week we said if you send us your best 3 mugshots, you'll get to win one of these Burnout Revenge original Prima guides that have been signed by the guys that were originally on the original Burnout Revenge team originally.
Fantastic.
So yeah, so we've got 3 of these, and these are going out to a number of guys who sent us in these mugshots. So first of all, we've got these mugshots from James Ballinger of Gentleman Jim, who looks a little like Solid Snake. We've got Ginger Cat 21, who's looking a little like Kenny from South Park, and Jazz 18, who's excited but looks quite human.
Oh, excellent. So I've got pictures here of a semi-naked man holding his nose, a small stuffed toy from Slash 91, and this is a great mugshot of a man looking very surprised, and I think he's a Chelsea fan, judging by the post.
There you go. And those were from Gert Tilburg, weren't they?
Gert Tilburg, yeah.
Right, okay, so our final winner this week is Ratchet Lombax, who sent us this picture of just Matt, and a picture of Triper, who is small and spiky-haired and kind of familiar. And talking of small and spiky-haired and kind of familiar, here's a picture of Craig from the team.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, Ratchet managed to catch a mugshot of him when he was playing the Codename Cagney update the other day, so sent that one in.
Fantastic.
So there you go.
That has to be a winner.
So, Burnout Revenge Prima Guides winging their way to you, chaps. Right, big crash competition. We've had 2 weeks on this one. We delayed it because we had so much stuff, and we were really trying to see what kind of creative and crazy stuff everybody could do out in the world of Burnout. So we do have a winner. The winner, we remind you, we said a little while ago, you send us evidence of your best crash, most creative, most interesting crash into the mailbag, and you'll win this gigantic
Oh, it's a great poster.
Burnout poster we stole from Jez's desk.
It's a great poster.
Yeah, and the winner is, and we've only actually got photographic evidence of this one, but it's pretty darned awesome. This from Chris Laidley, who actually shows 3 players online crashing through the hoop in the airfield. So, Chris, that will be going on its way to you. We got an awful lot of really cool video and footage and everything. We really appreciate how much of an effort that is for everybody to send in. So, runners up, everybody else who sent us in crash footage that we're going to feature at the end of the show, what we're going to do is we're going to get you one of these original Burnout Paradise launch posters, and we're going to get those signed up by the team, and we're going to send them out. So, evidence of all the other crashes that we received to the mailbag, we're featuring at the end of the show, and we'll put everybody's names up there.
Fantastic.
So that's it from the mailbag. I'm going to try and dive in there and go through some of those massive emails once we've got the site up and running. So that's it from me.
Brilliant. All right, that's it for this week. What's coming up next week, Symes?
Next week, massive update on bikes that are coming with the Davis update. We're going to get Pete Lake in, and he's going to tell us all about the bikes and the bike-related gameplay that's coming with Davis.
Fantastic. We'll bring you news from the new Ireland location.
Yeah, and the Webster's back, finally from holiday.
Matt's back.
Yes, indeed.
It feels like it's been longer than 2 weeks.
Indeed, yeah. It's kind of getting a little lonely in this podcast room, so we're going to get him back in here, and he's going to be doing the duties.
Great, and Mikhail will be joining us for a spotlight on a brand new calendar feature that he's working on. We've had a great time. I'm Jez.
I'm Symes.
See you next week.
Mailbag at CriterionGames.com. Mail us at Criterion Games, Onslow House, Onslow Street, Guildford, Surrey, GU1 4TN in the UK.